Hey everyone, it's the Jokester. I thought I would do a live reaction to the June 2022 State of Play. I have not seen it, not watched it. I pretty much been silent on Twitter. Really haven't looked at anything. I planned to watch it and then I thought, oh, let's do a live reaction. So I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to do. I don't know what they're going to show. I've not talked to really any of my friends. Tried to stay silent on it. I haven't checked anything on Twitter. So I'm going into this completely and totally blind. Y'all are going to see my reactions as I watch it. We're going to watch it together. And I'm really hoping for some really awesome games. None of that microtransaction, online bullshit. Really solid, single player, awesome, amazing games. That's what I want. So we got our headphones. I'm strapped in and I'm ready to rock. Let's do this. Woo! I gotta clean my glasses. I ain't gonna be able to see jack diddly squat diddly shit without these glasses. Now I'm ready to rock. Woo! Alright, I'm hitting play now. Let's see. That's what this is all about, y'all. Ooh, hope it's good. Hope it's good. 3/24/2023. What's this? The heck is this? R. Resident Evil? Red Dead? Oh, yeah, it's Resident Evil. It's got a Mexican Latina type music. It's Hispanic.
Condor 1 to Roost. I've located Baby Eagle.
Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Is this Resident Evil 4 remake? No way. They're not already showing this. Is that Ada? Oh my gosh, she's got the jacket.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
My mouth is so wide right now.
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
Oh my god.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different.
Oh my god.
It has to.
March 24th, 2023. Wow. Wow. Alright, you can end it right here. We're done. You can end it right here. We're done. Oh, it's going to be PlayStation VR 2 compatible. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Maybe Sony and all these developers are going to go hard with the VR and not make it such a gimmick.
With Resident Evil 4 coming to PS5 with PlayStation VR 2 content also in development.
Wow.
Now let's get a sneak peek at 4 games in development for PlayStation VR 2.
Oh wow, VR 2. I mean, if they can make VR really awesome, that'd be cool, but
Let's take a look
I'm not really interested in VR.
Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my...
But a VR version of Resident Evil 8 is
Let's
pretty
see
neat.
how special.
I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty cool. Wow! Okay, that looks really damn cool. A lot more creepy too. My thing with VR I didn't like is when your hand shows up, it's always like detached, like a floating hand. It looks weird. But this, oh yeah, I don't really. It takes me out of the game when I see a floating hand. But
Man blood.
Oh, careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
but still, this is pretty damn cool. I don't know. I've never really been interested in VR, but if they can make it really, really cool and make some really unique experiences or make games play really, really awesome with the VR, then I might be interested. I don't know how much it costs, though. If it's really expensive, probably wouldn't invest in it because I don't even have a PS5, so...
You, of all people, have the audacity to question me?
But I just don't want games that
You, who emerged from
we
the
already
putrid
have that
waters
are
of the
playable in
Bind
VR. I want
to plunder our
unique,
righteous gains and cut our
exclusive
throats like a
VR
demon in the
titles
night.
that are on the same level
What have you done to ensure
as
the
the
future of this
story-driven,
forsaken
awesome
city?
games that we get, like God of War,
You,
Horizon,
who have brought nothing
Uncharted.
but chaos.
This Walking Dead game looks pretty damn cool.
When death was swallowing this city whole, it was I who resurrected it. It was I who shined as a beacon of hope for
But
all. The tower cries out for blood.
if it's just gonna be,
And I
hey,
vow
here's
to
a VR
spare it.
port of this cool game that's really neat,
When the bells
That's
ring,
not
the
enough to sell a
song they
VR.
sing will be righteous.
Retribution.
Welcome home.
Part 2, that other VR
Tourist.
game. Oh, No Man's Sky VR edition. That's kind of cool. Honestly surprised that hadn't already came out. But that's what I'm saying. I don't want just, hey, VR port, VR port, VR port. That's not going to get me to buy a VR. You want me to buy a VR and really sell it to somebody that feels like it's a gimmick because I don't really want to wear a bucket on my head. I already have to wear these headphones and they bother me after a few hours. Can't imagine playing VR for a long time, especially with glasses and the way my eyes are. But if you really want me to sell it, you're gonna have to do something amazing with it.
There.
Like this, an exclusive title.
Where are you taking me? I asked you a question. Everyone says Reyes is a good shot.
Yeah, and I'll put arrows through both of us. You're switching with me.
It's a snap mob. We're not gonna make it.
This is cool, but like I said, the floating hands just take me out of any VR game.
Prison. But why?
I don't know why, it just does.
Redemption
Weird.
is still possible, Reyes. Climb the mountain. Find out why the machines are attacking.
I mean, it looks cool, but the floating hands are immersive breaking to me, so...
Do that, and you shall be a free man. It will take all your wits, your skills, and courage.
Wow, that's cool though. Horizon VR, Call of the Mountain.
Reyes.
Wonder how this
Now it is
fits
time
into
to
the other
climb
Horizon games.
into the light.
But y'all let me know in the comments below if y'all like VR or care about it.
Hi, I'm Ben McCaw, Narrative Director at Guerrilla. I hope you enjoyed your first look at Horizon Call of the Mountain, coming exclusively to PlayStation VR 2. We're also happy to announce that a big update to Horizon Forbidden West, including New Game Plus, will be available to download on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 today.
Major update. I haven't even started this game yet. What? You can fly in the back of one of those things? Well, that was a spoiler. I didn't know you could fly in the back of one of those things. Now that I know you can do that, it's kind of cool.
For details on this free update, please check out PlayStation Blog. From all of us at Guerrilla, thank you for your continued support, and please stay tuned for more updates to come.
Get ready, a PlayStation fan favorite is coming to PC.
I mean, that's good for PC gamers. More people get to play awesome games, but
these past few years,
Spider-Man,
sacrificing so much. And
they really wanted Spider-Man. They're getting.
If you want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest decisions. Do you really need two of those?
You are everything that's wrong with this city!
I'm gonna go,
do your thing.
You can't just push people around like that.
Just ask for help next time.
Time to bring back the glory days.
Did you just leave your clothes on the kitchen floor?
Really disappointed me that they did not give us a PS5 physical for the upgraded version of that first Spider-Man game. Just a download in the Miles pack is stupid to me. Oh, I remember seeing this little cat game. This is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. It'd be even cooler if they could get Sega to license Morgana skin and you run around as Cat Morgana. I'd just get a laugh out of that. Animal lovers and the furries are gonna have a field day with this game. I'm just joking. Damn! Kitty butter, move it! This is really cool. This is a creative game. This is why you play on PlayStation, because you get creative things like this. If they would only chill out with the censorship and the frickin' wokeness, though. And just deliver awesome games without all that nonsense. But sadly, we don't live in a perfect world.
Explore a mysterious cyber city in Stray, coming to PS5 and PS4 July 19th.
July 19th, that's cool.
PlayStation Plus Extra members and higher can download Stray at no extra cost when it launches next month. Up next, 3 games that will get your heart
I'll have to do a
racing.
physical for that little kitty game. What's this? Strike Distance Studio. What is this? Craft.
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the Dead Moon? Dead.
This is the Dead Space team's game.
Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck. So whatever you're holding on to right there, that's your old life. You gotta let that go. Because your new life is entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance at rebirth.
Oh my goodness. Nope. Need to back him about 10 feet, biatch. Oh my gosh. Hell, mother trucking yeah. They are back, baby. This is badass.
I just love that last part. Gives me chills every time.
The gruesomer, the better. Callisto Protocol. December 2nd, 2020. Whoa, this year? Whoa. I thought that was going to be like late 2023. Wow. That surprised me. That really freaking surprised me. I didn't expect that at all.
In the year
at the end of this year, wow.
A new blood sport grips the globe. And in the arena, there will only be
if you're
the
really
victorious
excited for like the Dead Space remake and Callisto Protocol, there's a game that I started following recently. It's called Negative Atmosphere. It's being developed by a small indie team, and oh my freaking gosh. It was in development before the remake and before we knew of Callisto Protocol. And it was going to be like the Dead Space game we wanted. It looks really hella cool. Like, it's really neat. You should look it up. Maybe I'll find a link to one of the videos and I'll drop it below so you can check it out. This game looks pretty cool. The cel-shaded skater cutter game. Roller Dome. Bet it's an online multiplayer thing. And
sometimes I wonder if things will ever be normal again.
Whoa. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the that music is damn.
The world hasn't ended yet. It's not
Hell
hopeless.
yeah! I won't let anyone else get hurt! Don't you want science in your corner?
Oh, ew!
I'm going to miss them.
I look forward to seeing what you
damn,
can do.
I need to bounce to that beat. Man, wow. What is this game? Internights. Early 2020. Hell, mother truckin' virgin flippin'. Yeah! Hell, mother trucker, yeah. That was cool.
Action games and dating sims collide in Eternights. Coming to PS5 and PS4
An
next
action
year.
game and a dating
Let's check
sim?
back in with Capcom for a new look at an
It felt
upcoming
like
heavy hitter.
Persona Shin Megami Tensei and Scarlet Nexus had a baby. That was a nice surprise. I'm pretty sure my friend Dark Chaser is all weeping out over that. Knowing him, he's probably like, oh yes! Guessing this is Street Fighter.
When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending.
I'm not really a Street Fighter person.
then. Hope you're ready to begin.
I like the characters. I've
You
seen
want to
some of
start
the
off on
anime.
the right foot
and
in this city.
I just don't
The
like
streets.
most fighting games.
Yeah, hey there, I do this. Never feel loose.
Also, I don't like the way Capcom does Street Fighter. It's like 15 million versions of the same game with a few other characters and DLC. Wait, maybe this isn't. You can actually run around and explore. Wait, is this Street Fighter? Well, that's Chun-Li. It's a Street Fighter game where you can run around in the environment and do stuff? Well, that's pretty cool. I might be interested in it then. Because it has some exploration. It's not just fight, 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 fight. Maybe it's like a creative character thing with a story mode.
Let me have some fun.
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight.
Damn, Chun-Li, your hips. Let's just say I like the Street Fighter girls. You know what I mean. I mean, that stuff is cool, but I'd never be able to pull it off. I can really only play anime fighting games like the Dragon Ball games on the PS2 and the PS3. But really hardcore, traditional, competitive fighting games, I can't do them. I don't like the one health bar or the ring out and then you're done. It's irritating to me.
Street Fighter 6.
I'm also not a fan of that new logo. Most people aren't. But if it has a real explorative world that you can run around and do stuff, that would keep me interested.
That was your first look at Street Fighter 6 gameplay. Mark your calendars, it comes to PS5 and PS4 in 2023. Now it's time for 2 indie adventures arriving later this year.
It kind of looked like Zelda when I saw it. The art. Oh yeah. Definitely has a Hyper Light Drifter Zelda style to it. Looks cool. I'd play it. September 27th. Cool, it's not far from now.
She set out to record life at the end of this season. To make it real for people in the future. She asked us about living together.
And we asked her about traveling alone.
It's pretty.
When the season turns, what will remain?
Only what she saw. What she captured.
She carries the sounds of the season with her. The way she listened made you want to tell her everything.
I got to look in her journal. The world was telling her its secrets. I think she even figured out what will happen to us when the season ends.
Honestly, this is really cool. Like a peaceful exploration type thing.
Is it gone?
Not yet.
And I really like the graphical style. It's really pretty. Season, a letter to the future. Autumn 2022. Cool. cool.
世界中のゲーマーの皆さん、こんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田です。
ファイナルファンタジー
長らくお待たせいたしましたが、いよいよファイナルファンタジー16の最新情報をお届けする日がやってまいりました。最新のトレーラーとともにインタビューなども始まりますので、ぜひそちらも楽しみにお待ちください。今、世界には本当に様々な困難があります。僕らゲーム開発者にはゲームを一生懸命作るということしかできません。ゲームというエンターテインメントを通じてゲーマーの皆さんが心の底から楽しめる時間を提供していきたいと思ってます。
I've been so
それでは
disappointed
最新のトレーラーを
in a lot of the Final Fantasies. Square Enix is like 50-50 these days. You don't know if it's going to be good or if it's going to suck ass. And I'm one of the people that think Final Fantasy 15 sucked major ass.
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield, it wears away at our very being.
No, he's behind Final Fantasy 14 Online, so there's hope, but there's still that chance.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife.
I don't know.
And found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
I'm seeing some things in there that looks a little Final Fantasy 15 in the combat style, so I'm hoping it's not like, oh, this is all flashy, and then those weird scenes where it looks like a cutscene, but you're in a battle. I don't know what that is, and I really hope it doesn't suck. I really hope the gameplay is good. Get Platinum to help you with the combat. We got Nier Automata. That was solid. These summons look badass. That's one other thing that was kind of missing from 15. We couldn't get the summons out.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken, if free.
Summer 2023. Like I said, it looks cool, but I've fallen into this looks cool with Square Enix too many times.
Don't forget to visit
and
PlayStation
looking
blog
cool
to learn even
and being
more about
cool
today's
are
announcement.
not the same thing.
See you next time.
It can look kind of good, but then play like crap, or have no substance, or have an empty world, or just not all that. Literally, Final Fantasy 15's combat was hold the button down and just automatically did its own thing.
PlayStation.
Is that it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that was everything. Let's discuss our thoughts. So, they led with the most exciting thing, which was Resident Evil 4 Remake. That looked absolutely phenomenal. We know that it's reusing assets from Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 8, so not everything is going to completely be brand new. this is the thing they do with modern games now. And for better or for worse, they reuse a lot of assets. A lot of times it irritates me because I feel like you're not really getting a new game. You're just getting a game that's covered in a new coat of paint. It's almost like when somebody uses a filter on their face. But it looks awesome. It looks amazing. That was the most exciting thing to me. Some of those other games looked pretty cool. Callisto Protocol looked really cool. I'm really surprised about the release date for that. Hopefully that turns out really, really well. That RPG, oh goodness, the one with the flashy colors and the anime, and then the music that was just so metal. I really love that music. That was cool. I already forgot the name of the game. Final Fantasy looked awesome. It looked awesome. Let's focus on that. Looked awesome. But that doesn't mean it is awesome. Now, some people think Final Fantasy 15 is amazing. I am not one of those people. That game was the biggest waste of money I have ever spent. It was so disappointing. It was not even a true open world game. It just, there was so many problems with that game. And I feel like the only reason why it sold was because it was named Final Fantasy. If it was named something else, it would have not done anywhere near as good as it did. I can guarantee you that. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little iffy on how that combat's going to play out. But all in all, I saw some pretty promising things. So I think it was a good show. But you leave your thoughts down below and let me know what you think about it. What did you like about the show? What are the games that you're excited for? Are you concerned about any of the games? Are there games that you don't care about? Do you share some of my views on some of this stuff? Are you excited for VR2? Are you not excited for it? Just leave your comments down below and let me know. And I appreciate you watching this with me and seeing my reaction and enjoying my conversation over this. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Till then, happy gaming.
I'm the jokester, Mr. J.